All right, let's jump right in. We're living in a world that is just constantly buzzing, dinging, and screaming for our attention, right? But what if the real secret to a healthier, sharper brain isn't some new app or productivity hack, but something way, way simpler? Today, we're talking about the incredible and often overlooked power of silence.
This isn't some brand new idea. We're talking over 2,000 years ago. The philosopher Pythagoras was already onto this. He knew there was this deep connection between quiet and wisdom. But you have to admit, in our world today, those words feel more urgent than ever before. And that's the real question, isn't it? I mean, from the second our alarm goes off to the moment we finally pass out, we're just bombarded with noise. It can feel totally impossible to escape. But what if I told you that finding that quiet isn't just possible, it's absolutely essential for your brain? So first, let's really get a handle on the problem we're up against. That constant hum from our phones, the traffic outside, the 24/7 media cycle. It's not just annoying, it's actually having a really profound impact on us. Now think about that language for a second. A modern plague. Wow. That is not a term the World Health Organization throws around lightly. They've found overwhelming evidence that being exposed to all this noise, all the time, has seriously bad effects on our health. This goes way beyond being irritated by a car alarm. We're talking about a full-blown public health crisis. And that leads us to the real cost of living in a world that just never seems to go quiet. The price we're paying for this constant overstimulation is frankly alarmingly high. It's hitting both our minds and our bodies. Okay, just look at this breakdown. In the short term, sure, noise makes it harder to think straight and messes with our sleep. But the long-term effects? That's where it gets really scary. We're talking about a higher risk for serious mental health issues and even heart attacks. All that noise is literally stressing our bodies out to a breaking point. So the problem is huge, no doubt about it. But the solution? Well, it's actually surprisingly simple. You don't need to go move to a remote monastery or anything. The answer is found in these small, intentional moments of quiet. And get this is fascinating. It turns out our brains aren't even built for total, absolute silence. If you put someone in a perfectly soundproofed room, they start to feel pretty weird and disoriented after about half an hour. So the key takeaway here is we're not aiming for complete sensory deprivation. We're just looking for short, powerful bursts of quiet. Okay. Now let's get to the really good stuff, the core of this whole thing. What is actually happening inside your brain when you find these little pockets of peace? Well, the science points to 4 incredible, powerful benefits. Here they are, the 4 superpowers of silence. It helps you release tension. It helps you fight insomnia. It helps you physically grow new brain cells. And yes, you heard me right on that one. And it lets your subconscious get to work processing everything. Let's break each one down. First up, stress relief. This one's pretty straightforward. Loud noise comes in, your brain floods your system with stress hormones like cortisol. But silence? It does the exact opposite. It's like a signal to your brain that it's safe to power down, triggering the release of hormones that actually calm you down. And here is the kicker. You only need 2 minutes. Just 120 seconds of pure silence can be more effective at calming you down than listening to music that's supposedly relaxing. How efficient is that? It's like hitting a giant reset button for your nervous system. All right, next up, let's talk about sleep. If you're someone who tosses and turns all night, listen up. Just working about 20 minutes of silence into your day can make a massive difference. That quiet time lets your mind settle down, which makes it so much easier to drift off and get that deep, restorative sleep your brain is craving. Now, for what I think is the most mind-blowing, absolutely astonishing benefit of them all. This is going to sound like something out of a sci-fi movie, but I promise you it is 100% real. Silence can literally help you grow a bigger, better brain. So check this out. Researchers found that just 2 hours of silence a day actually spurred the development of new cells in the hippocampus of mice. And the hippocampus, that's the part of the brain tied to memory, emotion, and learning. This is way more than just a fun fact. It offers real, incredible hope for new treatments for awful conditions like Alzheimer's, dementia, and depression. And finally, silence gives your brain the space it needs to just think. When you're not constantly taking in new sounds, new sights, new information, your brain finally gets a chance to sort through everything you've already experienced. You know that aha moment you have in the shower? That's what this is.
It's your brain finally getting a quiet moment to connect all the dots. So we've looked at the problem, and we've seen the powerful science-fact solution. Now it's time to make this real. It's time to put the power of silence to work for you in your own life. And it really all comes back to this modern dilemma we're in. Neurologists have confirmed it. Our brains are literally wired differently today. We are constantly trying to manage a level of sensory chaos our great-grandparents could never have even imagined. That means we have to consciously, intentionally build in moments of calm just to process the flood of information and find some meaning in it all. And that brings us to our final and honestly most important question. This is a challenge for you. It's not about finding an hour or even 20 minutes. It starts with just 2. That's it. Maybe it's sitting in your car for a couple minutes before you walk into the house. Maybe it's just closing your office door. So the question is, where are you going to find your 2 minutes of silence today?